Oh my goodness. Hello. So I'm having another problem of no creativity at all. So I was like, I'll just go live because I want you guys to have something tomorrow because I feel bad, but literally nothing going on in the noggin today. Nothing. I was like, oh my God. And I hate it. Hello, hello. I'm guessing work in progress. WIP. Aren't we all? But hello. I was like, I just want to do something. I don't want to be like, I don't want to not have anything up tomorrow because I am dead. So, and Hadonuary is underway, and I had Decemberdonia. So these 2 months are pretty hectic. Hello, John. Um, I think in terms of like my maintenance journey. So there's going to be some dry spells of creativity, which definitely I'm having today. I was like looking. What I want to say so far is there's not a lot of like articles and stuff this year. I've heard from some people that the gyms are not busy, which is very interesting. Um, I haven't gone. I went on New Year's Day, but I went late and it was not full at all. So, but I was like, I went really late though. Like I went like at midnight because I filmed twice that day. But I'm having like a super, super like low dough moment. I don't know how else to say it, but it's not, it's different. I don't know. I'm gonna have to think of how I talk about this. Hello, Sage. Because I'll have to, I mean, I'm taking it all in basically. So it's like eventually I'll make a health update about it and I'll talk about it, but it's kind of like different because I'm not really having as much candy and stuff. Like I'm not having a lot of stimulating foods and things like that. It's like a more normal diet. So I think it's just like, crickets in my brain basically, and a little bit of anhedonia from it because I don't need it anymore. I'm not downsizing. So it's like I don't have to constantly, like for most of the journey, I had to constantly have stimulating stuff. So like a lot of caffeine, sugar, stuff like that. And I don't really have to have that anymore. So there's like a stillness in me now, in my soul. And I think that's why today I'm just like, I literally don't know what to do. So here we are. And it seems to be a little bit of a dry spell for like fat acceptance, for the articles, for everything. It seems pretty dry. So I'm like, that's interesting because typically, as you guys know, in January, it's like, oh my gosh, da, 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 which I'm sure that there is some stuff, but I'm just having a hard time finding it. And it is weird for me because I'm not downsizing this January. Like every other year, I think forever I have been. So it's like, oh my God, are we alive? Is there anyone alive out there? Like who's doing it? And I just don't see anything really. Um, but yeah, so I don't know. There was a couple things in, but it was in like England, but they were kind of just like tabloid type of stuff. Like it wasn't anything, it was just like celebrity gossip basically. And then I already covered the Lizzo thing, which that was from late last year. There was a couple TikToks, but they're just not really saying much. It's kind of like give us nothing. That's kind of the vibe. There is another article that I'll do this week that's about it. It's like I want to bring back body positivity in 2026. Like there's that kind of thing. Um, which I'll probably cover that this week just because I like to kind of get a narrative. But I don't know if it's like people are just not on it this year. That's what I've noticed. So I don't know. Like, I'm just seeing that, and I wish or I wanna know if any of you guys have been to the gym, if anybody's going, because 'cause I'll see tomorrow, but I go Sundays, and Sundays are usually pretty empty, but I go Thursday and Sunday, and so it's like, I don't know if it's crowded or not. I have no idea. It wasn't. On New Year's Day, it wasn't, but I was like, "Maybe people have New Year's Day dinner." I don't know, but I've heard that. Hello, bot. I've heard that a lot, so I'm like, I don't know if this year is just dead as far as, that kind of thing. I did notice for me, there was a lot of pushback on, like, counting and such in, December and November. Like, I got a lot of pushback. So I don't know if people are just over it, which I don't know. I kind of predicted it a little bit. I saw Virgie Tovar. She said she has posted something about like how older people are getting off of Ozempic. So there's stuff like cooking, but I feel like nothing is finished. Like no dish has been served. So I'm just like, okay, this is really weird. But I don't know if it's me. Like, am I just different or is the world different? You know what I mean? And I can't tell. I go every week, Monday through Friday. It was closed Thursday, but I didn't see any significant reduction in the crowd at the gym. I do typically go at 9 AM, which is peak hours. Okay, that makes sense. I mean, that is peak hours, but it wasn't any busier than usual. It was just like normal. Because to me, that's like when I went on Thursday, it was dead. There was like nobody. But again, I went after midnight, which is really late. So I get that. But it's like I'm usually like even when I would go, like in previous years, even in January, it was really busy, like immediately, even late at night, it was busy. Like I remember I would like dread it. It's been pretty empty at my gym. I typically go in the middle of the day. It's a newer gym, though they haven't had their grand opening yet. Okay, interesting. My Planet Fitness seemed pretty dang normal, and the 9A regulars were all there. That's what I've been seeing. So I've been seeing posts saying that people are like, "Oh, it's not any different this year," which is weird. Like, if you've been going to the gym for years, that is bizarre. Because I remember, like, I went in 2022. It was crazy that year. It was packed, and I was, like, really big back then, and so it was kind of like I was trying to do it as long as I could, and I had to wait. So I was so unhealthy, like, I couldn't do it until basically, I did it from October till January that year. I could do it for, like, 3 months, and then I'd have to stop. And then the next year, I think I stopped by the time we got to winter. In 2023, I don't think I went that long. Or no, in 2022, I mean, that autumn. I went, like, October. I probably went about the same, and it was crowded. I think I was in there in January, and it was so crowded. I think it was, like, so crowded, I was like, "I don't wanna be here," and I literally didn't go anymore, which is kinda crazy. But also, I was really tired and sick and stuff. And then 2023 or 2024, it was packed. I don't know if it was packed that year because it was busier. I feel like it was busier, you know? And this past year, like 2025, it was a little bit busier. But I was so like, no, I didn't go to the gym in January of 2024. That's why. I made that up. I don't know. I think I avoided it. I was like, I'm not going. I was like, because I was like, this sucks. So I didn't go. So I don't know. I only have a little bit of data for Derry, Alabama, but I'm pretty sure it was at least a little bit busier in 2025. But it was not this year, like from what I've seen, like shockingly so. Um, let's see. I live in a college town, so months of empty gyms at a time when students are gone. That makes sense. Do you think that it's because people might be waiting for Monday? I could see that. I could really see it, like, I'll check, I guess. Like, so I'm not gonna see it yet because I go Sunday and Thursday, so when I would see it would be Thursday, but I don't know. It's just something I saw on Instagram, and then I was talking to Eric on the phone earlier, and he said the same thing. He's like, "It's not busy at all," and he's in Cali, and California's pretty, diet culture-y, so that's crazy. And, so I'm just wondering if you guys have any difference, but it could be they're waiting for Monday. That could be true. So maybe we'll see, like, Monday will come and, like, all the articles will come out, but it's weird to not see anything. Like, not very many articles, nothing. I don't know if people are just waiting or people are kind of, like, wanting to see how it goes kinda thing. Do Weird, 2025 was my first year, being a gym girly, so I didn't really think it was strange, I guess. It totally makes sense that people would be going more in January than usual New Year's resolutions. Yeah. I think with Ozempic, even those not taking it already started their downsizing or health era. No one's waiting for or doing the New Year's resolution thing, at least not for downsizing, maybe just goal setting. That could be true, or it's just not a general trend. Because I did see a lot of, like, transformations and stuff, like, there were a lot of those types of conversations, and again, there was in my experience on my channel, there was salt that I was, like, still doing the damn thing in December and November. So I got a little bit of salt. So I got a little bit of pushback even during those months. But I feel like I saw a lot of people still talking about it in December, and a lot of people were like, "I'm still doing it." Like, so I don't know if it was a trend, but or if it's just the people that I was following because I was, but I started to not be able to stand that kind of stuff. So I don't know. It's just bizarre because, like, as you guys know, I've told you guys a few times, but I'm going to be doing a video about maintenance in general. Like, I'm kind of formulating my thoughts. So that's like an activistic video coming up. And part of the point is to post it in January because January is so like diet culture. And so the last Lana video is about like divorcing from diet culture or being done, basically. So when do we go back to real food? When do we go back to like actual stuff? Because to me, like diet culture is basically any food that is kind of like cartoonish or like not real. And I do include like my Mike and Ike's in that, like my candy, my neon candy cartoon food, and I consider like the fat-free whipped cream and, that kind of stuff. But also like fast food to me is diet culture too, because that's also not real food. You know what I mean? So to me, like this January, this anhedonuary after my December donia, um, it's kind of like my return to normal food and to actually eating real food, basically. So like I had I've been having ground beef. I've been having and I have like tomato sauce in it. I had like crackers with cheese, so that's like more basic for lunch and stuff, but a lot of cheese, which was really good. And then I had like eggnog in my coffee. Like just like it's not like the most my diet is not like super structured or anything, but it's just like I'm having food that's like actually real or like it has more than just, neon Mike and Ike sugar. It's like actually real. So it's kind of like it is eggs in the eggnog or it is like cream, you know what I mean? It is like I did have some lean beef. So I do think diet culture is a spectrum as well, but I kind of want to talk about the whole thing and like when you leave it completely. Cause I think, in my opinion, you have to actually like have real food for like a while and you need to take like some significant breaks or like actually stop, which a lot of people never stop ever. Which I want to talk about that in the video too. And then the anhedonia and all of it, like kind of that normality, because for me, it is so strange to not be attempting to downsize in January, like, or at least not have it on my mind or at the forefront. Like some years I was like, I'm waiting till March for strategic purposes, but it's like, it's not really like that now, you know? It's just different. For me, anyways, it's really different. And so many people are sick, including me. It is the flu season. That's true. I could see that. The fat free food craze is diet culture. Yes, it is. I'm sorry, Veal now. This is not the best camera. It's what I have. I definitely, one of my New Year's resolutions is to update or like have some kind of technological upgrade for sure because it's not giving. But oh wow. I love Mike and Ike's, especially for movie candy. I never stop. I never keep them in the house. I love them so much. Yeah. No, I get it. And for me, like, it is weird to just not have that stimulation because it just makes everything feel so still. And I'm just like, oh my God, it like brought my anhedonia back. I was feeling better. And so I was like, okay, I don't have to be 365 party girl. So let's get rid of some of this stuff. Sorry, I just got freaked out. Not this turning into a horror stream. I'm like, what is that? I'm not trying to do that. Uh, but anyway, I know, but you know, that's how I feel. Um, oh my God, I'm so low dough. If I filmed, I would have had to worn the Georgie jacket today. It's bad. I'm like, I can't even focus. So you guys can like see how bad I really am. You can like really feel the energy. You can see me live and how much I can barely focus. But yeah, typically I wouldn't have like a lot of meat while I was downsizing because it wasn't, it didn't give me a lot of energy, you know? Like I still had meat, obvi, but it's like, I feel like when you have a lot, it's kind of like, I don't want to say it's a downer, but it's almost the opposite, in my opinion, where it's like it makes you kind of tired. It's like it makes you relaxed, but it's like you're tired. So I understand it. I also have to talk about anhedonia with it because it is related to the toxic ritualistic. If you guys have ever looked it up, like it is actually an aspect of it. I think the problem causes it. So there's a lot to say, basically. But I'm handling it. I'm fine. Even if that pisses people off, which some people it would, I'm fine. So I'm gonna maintain. But even like one of my videos, I don't know if it was reported or if YouTube just like got it, but I was talking about maintenance and YouTube wanted to take it down, but I was able to put it back up after editing it. So it's like, I don't know. I really feel like I don't know, it could have just been YouTube, but it just seemed weird because it was like weeks after it went up. So I'm like, to me, that seems like somebody like, which I was being a bitch in that video. So maybe it was just like a personal thing, but I just don't know. Like I've noticed there is a lot of salt around maintenance. I think a lot of people were holding their breath that I would fail, which is kind of horrible to say, but I always told you guys I would never like reinforce, you know? Alex, I'm begging you to read The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron and maybe not film it as intensely as it is intensely private, but it will awaken part of you that was asleep during your downsizing. I don't know. I've heard of that book before. I have. But it's just, I think I'm just trying to get back to normal now, you know? It's really weird because for me too, like it went on for years, you guys. Like So I'm like, this is like a whole new era, like a totally different vibe. And it starts with not having as much like that stimulating stuff, like sugar and stuff. So I'm like, oh, I'm dead now. No, I'm just kidding. No, but it's like I just feel extremely sober, I guess. It's like very sobering to a point of like, oh my gosh, wow. And I'm not a brat anymore. It's like it's kind of the death of the brat within, which is kind of weird because I feel like that kept me going in the downsizing is that like just go, 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 like feel it, that boredom, that kind of restlessness of like, I have to get up and move all the time and I have to do this and I have to do that. And it's like, now I'm not like that anymore. I don't know if it is low dough or if it's just a shift or whatever, but it's like, it's just weird. I have before, VL. I went to Australia and New Zealand. It was a long ass time ago though. But I did the whole, I'm 23 and this trip changed my life. Like I had that gay moment. It's amazing. It legit changed my life. And I hate self-help books. This is no self-help book. It just helps you discover what was there all along. Trust me on this. Maybe I will. Maybe it might be something I can do. This is so like astrologically gay, but maybe I'll do it when Saturn goes into Aries. I feel like right now this is just like a last gasping breath of this era of my life where it's like that's how I feel. Where it's just like getting used to maintenance and like I still will say forever, like, oh, I haven't done that, VL. Getting oh my gosh, I can't even think. Look at how bad I am, you guys. How am I supposed to work like this? How am I supposed to work? Do you see? This is what I'm talking about. This is why people don't mean Dane. They don't want to feel like how I feel. They don't want to be like this. They don't want to be like, you know, it's not fun. It's really boring. It's like, I don't know. But I feel like, especially for me, like it was such a crazy journey and it went on for so long. And it's just like, whoa, I got there. And so now I'm like, okay, what the fuck do I do? Because I feel like that's also like part of the anhedonia is it's also like psychological as well, where it's like, I don't know what to do now. So you have like a lot of different factors. And so I think a lot of people just go back into diet culture or they just do it over and over again because it's something to do. And it's like, I don't want to be that way because I really didn't like it. Like I know a lot of people in Haze are like, I hate diet culture. I don't know. Like my experience of the vanity era, I really hate diet culture now. Like it made me hate it so much. But it's not even just like fat-free whipped cream. It's like even the Mike and Ike, I'm like, it's not real food. Like I have this desire for real food where I'm like, I don't want fast food. I don't want Mike and Ike. I don't want, fat-free whipped cream. Like I don't want any of it. I don't want Parmesan cheese, like weird stuff that people make. Like I just want real food, you know? So I don't know if it's like my real food era. Thanks in part to your activism and insights, my 9 square 2026 bingo card only has one health goal, 10 roll push-ups. My weight isn't a goal anymore, exactly just a daily doing the right thing, doing the next right thing. Oh my gosh, I love that song from Frozen 2. I've been feeling that, but it's my anhedonia. I'm like, just get up and do the next right thing, Alex. Like, this is hard. It's like, oh, I have a really hard time getting up in the morning. You really should look into gym culture. It is really bad online. Is it? Then I can be on there. I can be like somebody who scolds everybody and everyone can hate my guts. And no, I'm just kidding. I don't know, like, I haven't seen as much. If you're on Instagram, Alex, please DM it to me. It's hard to find it. Or if there's like an article or something, I will look at it. Um, but it's just hard to find stuff like that because most of the time it's just like what I dealt with a lot in my vanity era was like a lot of really terrible takes. And for me, it was just I couldn't stand it when the takes were not motivating. It really pissed me off. But it's like I don't even feel that way anymore. It's like I don't even feel mad about anything. It's like I don't feel mad, I don't feel sad, I don't feel happy, I don't it's just like crickets, you know? The auntie energy. I mean, for sure. But it's like, I don't know. How do you but I have to show this, you know what I mean? I want people to see the like that kind of feeling of stillness because what most people do is they feel this come in and then they have more. They get food noisy and then they don't maintain. Put it to you that way. So I'm like, I feel like that's what happens. So I'm trying to show like it will get better if you just deal, but it takes weeks. Like it's slow. And when you're in this the state that I'm in, it's like time feels like it's going so slow all the time. And it's like, oh my gosh, you know? And I'm probably gonna watch The Last of Us after I do this stream, which I'm gonna go till like I'll go for like another 30 minutes. So if you guys have any questions or anything, please shoot them, you know? I know I'm like weird right now, but I am here to talk. But anyways, I feel like I'm gonna watch The Last of Us and I feel like it's gonna be a slow episode. Like I just want to see a bunch of zombies like attacking and stuff. Like I don't like my only complaint about The Last of Us is sometimes the lore is too slow. And in this state, I'm like, oh my God, I'm so bored. I'm losing my mind as I'm watching this. So it's like I get it. There is lore, but I want to see zombies attack. You know, that's what I'm watching. But that's why I'm watching. And I feel like it's going to let me down. But, anyways, that's what I want to see. But I'm like, but I don't know. It's just, and it makes me wonder because, like, I've never, I have never, like, experience this to this extent because I think for me, it's like before this feeling could even come in, I would just be in another cycle. You know, it's like boom, that's it. So I've never actually done this before. So I'm like, okay, this is totally different for me. And I'm just like, hey y'all. What other hobbies do you have besides horror movies and horror TV? Honestly, I don't I mean, I used to knit anyways. I haven't really been able to sit and focus on it. Maybe I can now, now that I'm, like, really boring now. I'm, like, going into mega boring auntie era. Um, yeah, you do have to get a life. I do too, but it's just hard. I feel like January is just in and of itself kinda stifling, you know, because it's like, I don't know what to do. I don't know. Like, I have a lot of work to do, so I work a lot. But I think what's hard is, like, when I'm talking about my anhedonia and stuff, it's chemical, it's physical. It's not just psychological. Like, it is also psychological, so I'm gonna talk about both of them. I'm gonna talk about psychological anhedonia and physical anhedonia, which I don't think everybody has the physical side. But it's like I can be busy and do all this stuff, and it doesn't matter. Like, I'm still bored. And so that's really hard. So it's kind of like my brain just has to adjust and my dopamine system, I feel like is kind of fried because I like had to continue. It's like if you think of people that downsize where they're just having tons of they like have a lot of energy drinks and stuff like that. Like it's really common. People have a lot of diet soda that's caffeinated. Like I'm not the only person that needed to do that, that had to do that from the bra era on, basically. But it's like when you stop, then it's like, okay, well, what the fuck am I doing now? You know? It's just weird. I average 20K steps per day, and I was wondering what my maintenance calories would be. And people in the gym subreddit told me that I shouldn't even consider them because it's low impact. Oh my gosh. No, you should definitely consider it. Gosh. I feel like I have to be careful talking about that at all on YouTube because they're so extra. I'm telling you. You need to, I'll just say this, you need to talk to your doctor about a healthy amount or talk to some authority figure that YouTube likes, and be healthy. And yeah, because it's like even in a video talking about maintenance, YouTube took it down. So I was able to put it back up though, but it's like, I don't know, you guys. It's really weird. Because it's like, to me, maintenance is not triggering. So I don't know if maintenance is triggering to somebody else or like a different type of TR, which again, I've tried to explain. The more hate I've gotten lately has been from the Annas. So I feel like they are upset by my maintenance. And but again, it's not like tons of people. And it's like that video just so happened to be reported. You know what I'm saying? That's how I see it. I could be wrong, but it's something I'm going to pay attention to because I feel like, and again, it's obviously not everybody with that problem, blah, 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 blah. But it's just like insert disclaimer. It's just some people where I feel like people, like I said, I really do feel like some people were holding their breath. And the first time I felt that was when I went on the trip in March. I felt like there were a lot of people that were expecting me to give up at that time or to re to upsize. And it was like it was a twinkle in time and then it didn't happen. And it's like after that people were really pissed and they were salty because it looked like it because I was eating. I have to be careful. I had a lot in March and I was honest about that. But then when I came home, I continued. And I think people were like, what? Because it's like, especially being a mid-sized princess, people were just like, well, this is when people fall off, or you're going to fall off now, right? Which I did feel that pressure a lot in this small fat era too. But I think people didn't really think about it. But I noticed it in March for the first time. That was like a big one where I could see and then after that, I had some people that really were haters after that. And then, like I said, this autumn too, and maintaining it really pissed people off that I did. And I'm like, oh my gosh. Because to me, coming from my perspective, the idea of maintaining is not triggering at all. So that's new for me. Or the idea of somebody else maintaining, it's like I could see the change bothering somebody, but not just staying there. Because to me, I felt like if I'm like, okay, I'm stopping, blah, 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 I felt like that kind of TR hatred or whatever would calm down, but it's like it didn't, you know? That's what's weird. So it is a trip. Let me see what Villanelle said. I was watching an interview with the gambling addict. She said it was listening to an interview with a blank that made her realize she was an addict. Well, again, it's behavioral stuff. It's obsession, you know. Chat GPT would probably tell you, oh my gosh, if it's on anhedonia and on MSP era, please. I have my MSP era videos. So those are in my playlist. I have a lot of them there. They're the pink thumbnails. So I have a playlist on my channel, which I'm going to make more playlists too. One of you guys asked for that, and I really need to do that. So I think I'll do like a Fab Fatties playlist. Maybe I'll do like a post for suggestions on different playlists. Um, you sound like me in February 2024. I remember crying on the phone with my mom and she couldn't quite understand what I was going through. I don't think mine was physical, but everything changed. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. It's like, I think for me, it is psychological and physical. I think most of the vanity weight or the vanity era, it's both psychological and physical. It's physical because it's physically challenging. And then it's psychological because there's a lot of discipline. There's just a lot of stuff that goes into it. And that discipline, it still is a part of maintenance because it requires a lot of maintenance to reverse diet and then to maintain, or like it requires a lot of discipline. Because like I have to be really disciplined right now. If I didn't care, I would probably not be maintaining. But it's like I have to like hold the line and deal with the feeling of nothing, basically. And that's tough. But anyways, can I ask a really stupid diet question, Alex? What's your definition of diet culture? It seems to be different for different influencers. So for me, diet culture on this channel, how I tend to talk about it, it I don't really talk about it in general, like as a concept. I usually say diet culture foods, which to me, it just represents foods that are not real food in general. So I don't see a difference between like I always say, fat-free whipped cream and diet soda and neon dyed sugar candy or fast food. That's like basically not even like you look at like a fast food ice cream, it's not even actual ice cream at all. So to me, those are all like, which if you see my Lana era pictures, like I had I showed like the other aspects of diet culture that people don't show. Like the first one, I'm in like a fast food, I'm in In-N-Out. The second one, I have the candy, what is it? Which is very American. It was perfect. Candy corn, super dyed, like bright neon yellow and orange. Um, candy corn, And then it was just, I liked that one too, though, because it had I don't know if I can say it, but it was the little bit of increases in calories for 2 bags, for the reverse diet. So it was kind of funny because to have like a visual representation of the difference with that. But it's also, like I said, like all the other diet culture stuff that people do. So it's like fat-free cheese, or I'm going to make a brownie out of an apple in a freaking, I'm going to put chocolate powder into an apple and make and blend it and bake it. And that's a brownie. That's a diet culture brownie. It's like, it's not real. You know what I mean? That's how I consider diet culture. That's how I consider it. So yeah, I think it's all of that type of stuff. Let me see. In the spring, let me see. Can I ask you a really stupid question, Alex? What's your definition of diet culture? I read that. In the spring, I had a reawakening when I turned 35. Hold on, it does get better. Okay. Hopefully so. It's hard to stay motivated sometimes when people wish you the worst. The energy can be rotten. Yeah. When I've had so many different eras of motivation, like I had my haterade era, like 2024 for me was such a drastic, like, I'm doing this out of revenge, or like, I hate these people, or these people wrong me, or whatever. Like I had that whole feeling, like all those vibes basically. And it worked. So it's like funny. I saw this take on Instagram today where it was like, don't do it because of revenge. Do it because of this, blah, blah. Don't worry about that. And I'm like, well, it worked for me though. Like it got me through a hard time. Like I'm not going to lie, for a lot of my downsizing, like proving Aubrey Gordon wrong and how pissed I was at her, it actually did help. So to me, I feel like you have to find what works and then it changes, because then it wasn't about that. Then it was about my spiritual journey. And before that, it was about my health and survival. And then now it's like, I don't feel anything about any of that stuff anymore, you know? I don't care. So I can't use that anymore, but it's just so when they have that energy, it doesn't affect me either way. So I can't really use it to motivate, and I can't really use it like, it's not gonna demotivate me either. So it is weird, but it's weird how things like that change. I think that's one of my biggest activistic points is that you have to allow the journey to shift with time. You have to allow yourself to, like you have to allow yourself to change the motivation or to change the way that you're doing it, because certain things work in some eras and then they don't work in others. So for me, like when I was heavily in diet culture, I had to eat a lot of eggs. I was like eating so many eggs, which that is real food, but it's like I was having like eggs and cottage cheese and like fat-free cottage cheese, for example. Like that is so like, oh my gosh, you know? And then I'm having like um bullshit ocean spray juice that is like 40 calories for the whole bottle and shit like that. You know what I mean? Like to me, that's diet culture. It's not real. It's like it's expensive air. Or me and Eric, we use the example of like, because I did my first video I did of the Lana era, I did it with him. And we were because he is like so about diet culture in general. And so we talked about like these rice cake things he had where it's like a cinnamon flavored rice cake that basically tastes like cardboard. But when you're in a vanity era, that cardboard tastes good, you know? So to me, that's diet culture. It's like expensive and it's air and it's barely any calories. And that's diet culture. It's not real food. That's basically how I would describe it. Anyways, um, I was demonetized ages ago, still am, but you know, YouTube runs ads on my stuff, but only for them. Well, that sucks. You've always seemed too stubborn to quit. Was it loving yourself or more tough love? I think it was all of it, you know? I never, like, hated myself into it. The closest I got to, like, hating was probably in the mid-era, but I more so just hated that state of being. So I kinda had to deal with that then. And then, like, in the tortured era, it's like you have these feelings of, like, "I don't know where I'm gonna be. I don't know where I'm gonna go. What is my body really gonna look like? How am I really gonna look? I can't believe I did this to myself." Like, you have all those types of things, so it's like I had that moment, and then in the bra era, I was like, "Oh gosh, like, I don't know how I look here." Like, I had a couple moments where Pennywise was trying to come back, but then I was like I had to just shut it down. Basically, I didn't allow it because I started having some dysmorphia in the bra era. And so because it was just so much had changed, you know? So I feel like sometimes things change so much, or you reach a point where so much has changed that you just can't tell. And then the mid era, I was like, I couldn't even tell. It was confusing. So that was like the closest to tough love. Like I think for the mid era, I was just like, I'm not fucking settling for this. Like hell no. You know, I was like, I'm going to be alphabet. I'm defying gravity. Still have this here. I was like, I'm defying gravity. I'm not doing it because a lot of people act like you can't get out of the mids. And so I just made a really big dramatic show of it. And I was like, I'm getting fucking out of here. Like, I'm not going to stay here because I hated it. That was the closest I got to that. Um, but overall, I think it was just, it wasn't as feeling based, you know? I don't know, because when I think about it, I'm like, I don't feel like I would sit down and be like, "I love myself, and this is why I'm doing it." I think it was more so like an acceptance of, like, my body takes responsibility and maintenance on a daily basis all the time, and I have to just deal with that. And so I think I took it more practically where it was like, "I have to do this, like, this is just stuff I have to do." And it's gonna be okay. And once I accepted it and just not no longer resisting taking care of my body, then and like accepting that it had to be a part of my framework and like a part of my day and a part of what I thought about, then it was okay. So I think for me it was that. because I didn't have a lot of I really love myself and this is why I'm doing like, I didn't really use that often. Like, I mean, you guys for those of you guys who were around, you kinda saw, which you have the MSP badge, so you've been around for a while. Like, a lot of it was like, I had a lot of rage, I had a lot of fear. Like, when I was tortured, it was like I was so sad all the time, and I was like I just used the negativity. So I'd be like, "I hate where I'm at in life. I hate how this is. I hate everything about this. So I'm gonna keep going so I can get out of this." And that's what I had to do, So it wasn't like I think people put that hate on themselves. I don't think that that's good. So I do think that that would have made it worse. But there are different phases where you have to use negativity sometimes. And then in the mid era onward, I had to start being more positive. Otherwise, the negativity, it was starting to demotivate me. So you have to be very aware of what is motivating you and what isn't, you know? Because then, like, after the mid era ended, then it was kind of about like, I fulfilled the goal that I had. And what's helping me is just the overall positive feeling of accomplishment and like the support from everybody. And it was like, this is such a good thing for the channel. This is such a good thing for me. This is a good thing for everybody. It was that kind of feeling towards like July where I started feeling that way. And I was like, and then I was just it's kind of like almost like the celebration of the accomplishment. It helped me keep going. So it you can see how it went from like negativity motivating to actually positivity, which I think that's important for maintenance too, because you can't stay in that like I call it resistance based weight loss. I don't agree with that forever. Like you have to be like, oh my gosh, hello, compulsive rambler. I'm so sorry. I feel bad for my Britishies. I know it's like a horrible time for you guys. Um, is saying that really like banned on YouTube. How many words are banned now? A lot. I don't know. It's very touchy. It's very, very touchy. Like, especially these days, they're really having a moment in terms of it, which a lot of people in anti-fat acceptance are like considering it because it's a lot. Um, I agree when I lost all of my weight, a lot of people just told me I lost too much or blank. I just made a lifestyle change. Yeah, I mean, I think that did happen to me in the mid era a little bit. Like there were people that projected a problem onto me. Um, but in terms of like maintenance, it's like it's so bizarre to me to project a problem onto somebody who's maintaining. Like to me, that was just like what? And to me, it's like I don't view like my weight of 207 to me is not like at 6'1", that is so average. It's just such a like whatever. Like, I don't know. Like it just blows my mind that that would really bother people, you know? It's like, whoa, that is crazy to me. I don't know. Like, I don't think there's anything like to me, it's just a very blah. It's like that those stats to me are just kind of blah. It's not like anything really. You know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Betty's eggs and salmon. I don't know what that is. Diet culture food reminds you of food. Yeah. Been mid for 8 years and finally in a place to address it since around July. Oh my gosh, period. You're going to love it. It's so much better to not be. But again, don't rush out. I always tell people don't rush out of the mids. Like it's really good. You can get a lot of body comp done in the mid era. You have energy while downsizing. Like there are benefits to it, but it can be wild depending on the person. But if you've been mid for that long, you might be okay. You know, the lawsuit scared them, which is ironic as they profited for years off of, yeah. But now words are the problem. If people could have had an honest conversation about this before, there'd be no lawsuit. That's probably what it is. Yeah, because I've seen it affect a lot of other people. And, and people were telling me, like, "You should be careful," and that kind of thing, and it's like, I understand, um, but it's very I feel like they care about very specific things. So, I don't know, and I was able to edit it, like, if I can edit out whatever they have an issue with, then it doesn't bother me as much, um, because what they wanted me to edit out of my health update video, it wasn't, like, the point, you know? It was just like, I want people to know that this could happen to you when you're in maintenance, because I never heard anybody talk about this at all, and I'm having it happen really badly, and then I can see like, "Oh, I've seen this in other people too," but they just never said anything, you know? So I'm just trying to like I want maintenance to be more accessible for people, and I don't know if there are certain people that have an interest against that. Or again, if there's a sort of toxic ritualistic issue with that being more available, or with me talking about that, like it upsets. Like, I don't want you to talk about that because I don't want other people to maintain. Because a lot of times people talk about, like, oh, you're so hated for succeeding, or oh my gosh, you have some, or like people who don't like it. People want you to be downsizing, but they don't want you to actually succeed. And it's like, I think more than anything, what the toxic ritualistic person doesn't want is they don't want you to leave the struggle. It's all about the struggle. So if you think of people who talk about it, it's like, "Oh my gosh, this is so difficult," or "Oh gosh, I fell back and I have to do this again," and da da da. Or it's like if you reach that point, you have to act like you're constantly paranoid about upsizing all the time, or people get really pissed because it's like you're supposed to be so fucking humble about it. And people's attitudes, it's like, you better be so humble about this because it could happen because it's an addiction. It's an addiction. And you can't be confident that you've gotten out of an addiction. And how dare you say that? And they get really fucking pissed. They get really mad because I'm like, it's not an addiction. I don't have any fear. And they're like, that's how they feel about it. They can't stand that. So if you leave the struggle, that's what pisses people off more than anything. You want to talk pissing people off? People are pissed that I'm not scared, and I never was. And they don't like that I talk about it with confidence. They're like, "You're so smug, you're so this, you're so that." And because of that, they want me to upsize badly, and they're just left waiting, and it never happens. Oh, I'm glad, Anastasia. I know, I should do that for members again too. It is trippy. Maybe I should do one for, like, um, last January, and then I can kinda compare to this January. That might be kinda interesting. But yeah, that's what really pisses people off is when the struggle is over. And that's what, like, fat activists also say, where they're not trying anymore, and then people get pissed at them that they're not trying. What people want is they want to see you struggle. That's what they want. They don't want to see you succeed, and as far as struggle, what I mean is they want you to kinda yo-yo. So for me, they didn't care about my struggles, like, when I was mid and I hated it. They didn't give a fuck about that because I wasn't yo-yoing. It was kind of like, it was just that was it, and that pisses people off. So that's what I think you should be aware of, because I just want you guys to know so that you don't sound like an MSP forever. I don't want you to be like those people that have lost, that have downsized, and then they're like, everyone hates you when you lose. And it's not that. It has to do with the struggle. Like, people hate that you're not in it anymore. And that's what the actual problem is. That's what pisses people off, is that if you see how I talk about it, I have such an ease about maintenance. I have such an ease about the fact that I've downsized. And I'm so comfortable in knowing that I'm not going to have to do it again. And that's why they're pissed, because it's an addiction, don't you know? It's an addiction. Well, you don't know. You don't know. No, no, no. It goes to this. It's superstitious, which is toxic ritualistic. It's that superstitious, like you never know what could happen. Ooh, it could just happen one day. So you might step on a crack and then you've upsized dramatically because you stepped on that crack. You see, that's the logic. And it's like, no, I'm completely confident because I know exactly what it would take to upsize. I've done it before. So I know what it takes. And it's not happening again. Um, I use the insistence that thin, healthy weight women are weak and easy to control as angry exercise motivation. The adrenaline of anger and FU energy is great for exercise. It can be for sure. For sure. I don't know, usually when I am at the gym, I'm not usually angry anymore. Like I watch like a lot of it sounds so cheesy, but I watch a lot of like Amberlynn Reid stuff when I'm at the gym, which I told you I watched like Mr. Snowflake because I'm still kind of I just want to hear the Geordie accent more. So I just kind of do that, which it's just funny to me. I don't know. And then sometimes like that's honestly what I've been listening to at the gym, which to me it's not like I don't know. I haven't needed to be like amped up at the gym in forever. Like if anything, like I'll sometimes literally listen to ASMR at the gym, which I know is so weird, but it's like the opposite almost. So I don't know if I'm the opposite of you right at least right now. Maybe later in the year I'll be like, fuck it, let's go, you know. Um, but I just think honestly having confidence in maintenance, it's the way forward because when you feel confident, because it isn't an addiction, which I'm going to keep saying, which it pisses everyone off so much, but I don't care because I'm going to tell you the truth. Your mindset is your destiny. When it comes to food, it's very like it's all what you put into it because it's not like a substance. So it's kind of like if you go into maintenance confidently, which I will, spoiler alert, I'm going to do an activistic video about that for the next era, about how I'm going into it confidently. When you put yourself in a confident pose going into maintenance, you're more likely to succeed. If you go in fearing every single day that something's going to happen, 100% Anastasia, yes, consistency is key as well. But if it's like, if you go into it fearful all the time, it's like you're going to kind of manifest it because it's like where your mind's at. Like for me, it's like this anhedonia is so fucking boring. Like I shit you not. It is boring me to like I hate it. It is like whoa, and it's coming at like a super slow time in my life. It's just very slow. Everything is slow. And like a minute feels like 10 minutes. That's how I feel. But it's like you're just going to deal with it because you're just going to maintain because there is no like there's no magic behind that. It's like you just deal with it. Probably in a couple more weeks I'll feel even better. You know, you just get over it. And then you feel better. And then you maintain and then oh my gosh, you know. So there are some physical barriers for some people. I don't think that this happens to everybody. I think it's only happening to me because it went on for so long and so deep that I, you know, my brain had to adapt to long-term downsizing. So when I'm done, I have to adapt again, you know? And I think that that's all it is. And so I will talk about that for those people because, you know, they need to be covered too. But I'm going to talk about it from a purely psychological perspective too, because you have to have like other goals too, you know, and you have to be able to move on with your life. Like, and again, in my opinion, you should leave diet culture behind because it's not forever. Diet culture is not forever. I don't think it should be. You know, long-term diet culture, it will lead to nutrient deficiencies, which again, I've struggled with some aspects of that, not in any intention or probably not even any fault of my own, because when you're obese, you can't absorb iron very well. So it wasn't like I wasn't eating enough, I was. But, you know, it's not all about CICO, which that pisses people off too. I mean, people are so I mean, I'm sure you guys are not shocked, but people are very touchy about this stuff. And, it's fine, like, I get it, I understand it. I used to be super touchy too, like, trust me, that's why I can handle it, because I've been weirdly controlling, I've been so upset about what other people are doing, I've been the one who viewed it as an addiction, I've been the one who is, you know, uh, fearful constantly of upsizing, and I know it's gonna happen. I'm just never gonna be able to do this. I've been the one who thought it was impossible completely. I've been that person. It's like, you're not doing anything that I haven't done. I'm the ultimate auntie when it comes to the toxic ritualistic. It's like I've done it all. I've heard it forever. I've thought everything about it you could possibly think. It's like I don't say that from an ignorant place. It's like, no. I've overcome addictions. Food is different for sure. Confidence is everything. Yeah, I agree. I mean, you have to just be like, I can do this because you can. And the only reason you don't think you can is because everybody's telling you all the time that you can't. Like, I feel so bad for Jasmine because she has people telling her in her comments, like, GLP-1 is a lifelong medication. You can't do it without it. That is horrible to tell somebody, and not everybody has the temperament that I do. And again, I only have that temperament through a lot of experience and time and whatever. Like, if I was 20 years old, I probably would have believed that. I would have believed somebody who told me that. So it's like it comes from understanding. And it's like it happens all the time. So that person just shook her confidence and she's tortured. She's at a tortured era. So she's not confident. And then that person says that. And then she's going to think about that and she's going to ruminate on that. And it's going to create a self-fulfilling prophecy. And that's how it works when it comes to food. Like, people don't think about how often they think about it. And what you tell yourself about it is what it becomes. And people don't understand that. And it's not the same for substances. It doesn't matter what you tell yourself about alcohol. It is what it is. When it comes to food, it does matter. So if you constantly say it's addictive, then it will become addictive because you're telling yourself that it is all the time. You see what I'm saying? It creates a manifestation. But if you say it isn't, then it isn't. Oh my gosh. Because it's kind of like what you put into it is what it becomes, So it's like, that's why I try to talk about it differently about certain things like diet culture. It's like people will be like, diet culture is the TR, it's the toxic ritualistic. Or people will be like, diet culture is healthy. It's what you should do all the time. The truth is in the middle. It's good for some time and it's bad for other time. Or like it can work sometimes, or it's a spectrum too. Like I bought lean beef today to stay within maintenance. So with everything else I needed, I had lean meat. I had lean beef. That's a diet culture thing. So there's still a little bit of a spectrum. And I don't feel ashamed of it. I don't care. I don't think I'm a worse person because I had it. But I also ate like crackers that are like this, they're made out of cassava flour, a little bit of palm oil, some egg, like very like high quality, had some cheese. I had like a vitamin C shot. And then I did have some eggnog in my coffee, and that kind of thing. And that's basically what my day was. But it was a lot of meat and a lot of cheese because I was like, I really need some fat and I need protein because I'm sore. I'm so sore. And I have to go to the gym tomorrow and I'm sore. So I want to make sure I get a lot of protein now as I'm building muscle again because that's important. And then I still wanna have a lot of, um I wanna have a lot of iron and zinc, and there's a lot of nutrition in that lean beef, even if the fat isn't there. So it's like, but other days I will have the full fat version, it's like, so it's a spectrum as well as time and place. It's not always appropriate to be in diet culture, and a lot of people should take breaks. And I know Compulsive Rambler, she's like super against anything diet culturally, which I think that that's a valid place to be. I think always eating real food is good too, but it's okay if somebody wants to do certain things at certain points in time, or if it makes it easier for a certain person at a certain time. But like I said, there's a huge difference between having a diet soda in the day and having like two 12 packs of diet soda. You know what I'm saying? Like there is a difference. It is a spectrum too. And I do think it can go too far. So that's kind of my view on it. um, yeah, well, be careful with that part. I don't know how healthy it is, but again, I'm not going to judge you. I don't think you should feel guilty. Like, I just don't, but it's like, consider it. Like, I'm having air, I'm paying for expensive air. How is this affecting my body if I'm having so much of it? But if you have one, I don't think it's anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a spectrum. The one comment I wanted to make on her video is that when someone has a traumatic experience and overcomes it, they view people having that same experience with less compassion. Oh, interesting. Yeah, if adults make a fully informed decision, I'm not going to nag. I just get mad when there is a lack of awareness of the additives and that give, yeah, and that people give to little kids. It's most of their diet. I agree with that, and I appreciated your input because your words came to mind, and you told me that like Compulsive Rambler was so upset about me having Halo ice cream. I remember you're like, that's trash. And it stuck with me forever. So I just want you to know that. I thought of that today. And I'm like, I'm feeling like Compulsive Rambler now. Like if I'm gonna have ice cream, I want real cream and like all the stuff. Like I'm done. I'm divorced from diet culture. I'm done. And it's like, that's what my body's telling me. My body's like, no, we want real food only, like, the sugar and stuff, or like the Mike and Ike, it sounds kind of gross to me, which is also how I know it's not addictive, because you're not going to suddenly feel like something's gross. It's like, no, my dopamine balance has shifted. I don't need it. And so it's like, ugh, that's how I feel about it. As my brain is just like, it's too much. It's like, stop. And I'm like, fine, I'll stop, you know? So you do have to listen to your body too. And again, I'm not in a downsizing journey anymore. I don't have to do that anymore. So it's like, if you don't have to have like 10 packs of diet soda anymore because you're not downsizing, then just let it go. Just let it go, you know? And I want to like try to fix or see what it's like to just have tea, which we have like this British tea here, Compulsive Rambler. It's on sale at Publix. I'm gonna buy some, but I like the Rooibos. I know it's pronounced wrong. I know it is. I can't pronounce for shit, but it's like Twinnings or something. It's on sale. It's like London tea or whatever. I'm just gonna drink it, and I'm gonna try to have it without sugar. And I'm just gonna like, oh no, I know. I'm just exaggerating it. But anyways, I'm gonna try to just have that tea without any sweetener. So no stevia, no sugar, nothing. And just be like, let me just have something that's not sweet because it's okay. And that's kind of where I'm at just in my journey, but I don't judge. It's like, if you want something sweet, that's fine. Like I get it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, but if your body's moving on, if your mind's moving on, then let it go. That's kind of my thoughts on it. Okay, because so Traditional Revolutionary says, because they got over it and it was hard, so why can't you? I also wanted to say that people who get out of a cult hate the cult, but not the people in the cult. That's why Angelica hates FA. Yeah, that's true. I agree with that too. I think also too, like in some cases, you might not be as confident in your position, so you are more aggressive, which I don't mean that in a shady way towards Angelica or anybody. I think for me, I'm talking from my own experience. Like when I was in my tortured era and in my mid-size era, I was not confident in those eras. And so I was more angry too, and I was more aggressive. Whereas today I'm very confident. So while I can be aggressive, I don't have to all the time because I know, like, I'm confident. You know what I'm saying? So that's a case too, which again, a lot of people are obsessed with the struggle and they can't get out of the struggle, even if they downsize completely. And I advocate against that. I'm like, no, the point is to leave the struggle behind. You don't do this to struggle forever. You do it to be done and then just live your life. And that's kind of what I'm trying to show. Ro Ebos. Well, I don't have a South African accent, so I can't do it. Yeah. Compulsive Rambler says, "Oh wow, I didn't know I came across as mad at you. I was just grossed out by the ingredient list, but I'm glad you weren't offended." Oh yeah, no, no. I mean, for me, it got the work done. It's like a good source of calcium, which I need always. I think I'm just such a calcium girly pop. Like I don't know, I really need calcium as a person, and so it kind of worked for that. Like it served a purpose, and then it was like nice tasting, and then but it is like it's diet culture, you know, and I think it's okay to criticize diet culture too. Like I don't think diet culture is the evil of the world or the salvation. You know, it's very like you can critique it, you can love it, you can whatever, you know, like Eric is he wants to downsize like by like 6 pounds ish. So he was talking about it today and I was giving him shit over it because he's like, I really wanted rice cakes and cottage cheese. And I'm like, I was like, you're disgusting, you know, because I'm so not there. I'm like, ugh, get away from me. Ugh. Like I said, I'm like, ugh, I don't want any of it. Um, I'm like, give me some red meat and some fruit and stuff like that, which fruit is so expensive. My God, it's killing me. Like y'all are killing me. Um, these Publix is killing me. I might have to go to Aldi's or something. It's just ridiculous. Get some apples. Hello, cool cat. Because yeah, but I'm just saying, like, I want to I don't know, like allow yourself to change. I think that's my biggest thing is like allow yourself to change with the time. So, like with the era, with the season of downsizing that you're in, people think of it as such a static process, and it's not. You know, even like Angelica, she talked about how she needed to incorporate more fat at a certain point and that it was making her feel better. Don't feel weird about that. If you need more of a nutrient or if you need some diet culture, if you need some more carb or if you need some more protein, like don't be weird about it. And I think so many of us in the TR or as we're leaving the TR, or maybe we have experience of being in it, we think like downsizing has to be a static process that's like this and has to stay perfect and stay exactly the same the whole time. And that will make you fail. I will just say it. So, for example, I'm just going to talk about everybody. I'm auntie, I guess, I'm talking about everybody, but Jasmine needs to evolve. She's at a different place. She might have to start thinking more about the quality of food that she's having. There might be certain additives in the foods that she's having that are making her hungrier, and she has to figure that out. She also needs to look into if she has hormonal issues or certain things like that. That if she's not using the GLP-1 as a sort of band-aid over the problem, which I understand using a GLP-1 from a super morbidly obese perspective, because when you're there, it doesn't matter. It's really hard. So I get it. And she got out of that and she wants to just do it naturally now. But it's like, if she didn't do the mental work or if she's not doing it today, then that's a problem because you have to deal. You got to get your hormones in order. You got to get your mindset on food in order and not be tortured. There's a reason I call it that era, because if you can't come to terms with it, if you can't make a decision, then you're going to struggle. You're going to probably upsize. And it's not because of destiny, it's because you're not sure. You got to be sure as fuck when you're morbidly obese. Like, oh my God, you have to be sure. And it's really hard. And so, I can't give that to her. If I could, I would. All I can tell her is like, you have to be confident, or you're not confident, but you have to be sure. You have to say, I'm going to take a leap of faith and I'm going to do it. Even if I've never experienced it, even if it's never worked for me, even if it's slower than it was going before, I'm going to keep going. You have to do it. And it's really hard. And a lot of people fail, you know? I used to always fail when I'd become morbid. That's usually when it would turn around. Oh, thank you so much, young pop star. I'm weird about it. Okay, B Bomi says, I'm weird about it. I'm still struggling to get out of the TR, so I'm still weird about the food. I'm really struggling to let go of the super processed foods that are low cal but make me feel bad. Yeah, it's just up to you. It's really, really up to you. So, and it's up to where you're at, because you just want to succeed. You know what I mean? Oh, let me say, sorry, I need to read a little Snow Fairy Sagas. Hi, everyone. Just made it out of the dangerously. Oh, wow. Okay. That is great. I don't even want to say it out loud because of YouTube. I just made it to a good point. I just need to maintain. People say I should gain, but I'm feeling mentally clear and my hormone levels are great and I'm no longer faint. That is great. Yeah. So obviously I don't know as much about that side of the issue, but I think it's just, definitely maintain. Definitely. We love. So yeah. Let me see. I respect what you and Angelica are doing to fight FA. My stepdaughter, who is a lovely person, is deeply convinced that she can't lose weight. It's awful because I know she doesn't feel great. Yeah. And that's the thing. It is so like constantly enforced. It's reinforced, reinforced, reinforced. And then she'll probably reinforce it to herself over and over and over again, every single day. And people don't think about that. It's like you're doing it every day. You tell yourself every single day. And that's what it is. It's all about repetition. So it's kind of like you see the food, then you say what you believe about it. And you do that over and over and over and over and over again. And you just have to change that or just stop. Honestly, you could just stop. And then it's like, oh, okay. And then your brain kind of rewires over time because you're not doing that anymore. You don't think about it that way anymore. So then you're like, okay, whatever, Oh, it's the complete opposite of Hinge, but it's just as unhealthy. Oh yeah, especially being so like I was so huge. So it's definitely similar because it's pretty harsh. I can't even really say how I feel about it because I'm worried about YouTube. Blood levels are great except potassium, looking to get more bananas and spinach. Yes, definitely monitor all that. And as you're getting all your nutrition up, you should be able to think clearer too. Because that can also happen too within Hinge and the reductive one. It's like you get a lot of nutrient deficiencies and you can't think clearly. Yes, Biel. Goodness. Yes. I'm sorry, Biel. I know it's annoying. But yeah, like as we get to good levels too, then it's like we can think clearer. Yeah. No, for sure. Which I'm sure I need more potassium too. Everybody needs more potassium, honestly. I don't think we usually don't get enough. Like I should have a lot of bananas myself. I like bananas. But yeah, so anyways, I'm just saying like you have to just think of your mindset, and then like where Angelica and oh my gosh, I'm blanking on her name. Oh my gosh, I'm having a low down moment. Oh goodness, I forgot her name. It's not your fault. It's my brain. It's dead. But they differ because one of them is sure, like Angelica is sure, but oh my gosh, I hate my low dough. It's killing me, you guys. But when the other one is tortured, she's not sure. So that's the difference. And that's the difference in their success too. Because Jasmine, thank you so much. Oh my gosh. It is me. Is my brain dying? It has nothing to do with Jasmine. but yeah, so she's more tortured. So she's not sure. Angelica is sure, which to me, if Angelica had a tortured moment, it was probably when she was canceled. So she didn't really start when she was in that phase where she wasn't sure what was possible or not. She kind of started when she was sure. And so that's kind of the difference. Because everybody, when you're very big and you kind of get to that zone, you do question what's possible. You really do. And then as you continue, then you know it's possible, and then you don't feel that way. Especially because I'm trying to become a medical assistant as a med student in clinic. I need to be there for my patients as best and clear-headed as possible. Yes, absolutely. 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 So it's really good. It's really good. We love all forms of recovery on this channel. Absolutely. And again, in my opinion, if you stand against one of the TR, you got to stand against all of it, because otherwise you have the situation we have where a lot of people were normalizing Hinge because they were so against the other ones, which, yes, I support being against the other ones, but we also got to be against Hinge too. They're all bad. And so, yeah, that's definitely my stance. But yeah, so I also think that's why Jasmine and Angelica clashed a little bit. I know, she's so iconic for being counseled by them. She is. She's iconic. That's iconic. But I think that's also why they were kind of butting heads, because they're not like as aligned. And again, which I don't think Angelica is a mid-sized princess, but the mid-sized phase and the tortured phase, they're almost like the complete opposite. They're very different. So it's kind of like you approach that uncertainty psychologically in a completely different way. So it's like in the tortured era, you're so scared that it's not possible, that you're not confident, and you'll either be really mad or really scared, or just like, I don't know, like you're kind of tortured. You have like a weird presentation of emotion. When you're mid, it's like you're just ready to yell at everybody all the time. And it's like, of course I'm right. Of fucking course I'm right. You have that kind of attitude. And then later you get even more confident, and then you're just like, yeah, I'm right. Duh. Then you're just tired, or you're just tired because you're in a vanity weight era. But, then you're just tired. But it's kind of like so you are more confident in a mid era, but it's also like there's still that, because you're challenged so often too. I think they think it's all internal in a mid era, and it's not, because again, Angelica's being challenged all the time. So I get it. She's doing so good. I'm like, she's going to make it. I have faith in Angelica. I do. She's sure. She is, because she's sure. That's what you want. You want surety. I don't know if that's the right word, but you want that on a downsizing journey. You got to be like, I made this decision, period. A little Snow Fairy Saga says, we got to be real too with ourselves. No telling ourselves we reducing what we have as a problem with excess. Yeah. That's true. Very true. And I'm just saying that's my auntie moment for today. But anyways, you guys, I think I'm going to go ahead and dip. I actually went a little longer than I thought I was, but I appreciate you guys so much for being here. Oh, I'll read this. I find your insights about the phrases of dramatic weight management to be inspirational. You should write them in a book. Seriously, I might do like documentary style. Like I might like lump it all together. So that's something I might do, but I just hate writing. I'm such a hater. I don't like writing, but I do like presenting, and I could see myself doing it documentary style, but it will take some time. Do you think you'll do astrology, etc. on YouTube? I do it on TikTok. So I don't know. Somebody did ask me to like put it up on a YouTube channel, but it just, I don't know. I'm kind of a lazy auntie. I don't know. But, and YouTube is so like, I don't know. Their algorithm is just so not giving. Like, I don't know what else to say. Like, I don't know how much viewership I'd even get on YouTube. Like, I know that's harsh to say, but I don't know. Maybe I'm just being a negative auntie. But anyways, thank you guys so much for being here. I appreciate you guys so much. And yeah, see you guys soon. Have a good night. Bye.